I'm going to convert a fraction to a decimal form, but this is also a focus on long division as well. So I'm thinking about what 19 out of 34 would look like as a decimal. I can see that if we're working in 34ths, I would need 34 of those to make one whole, and I don't have anywhere near that. So my thinking before is that the answer needs to be less than 1. I'm going to check that at the end. I'm thinking 17 34ths is a half, so it's a bit more. So it's around about a half or 0.5, around there. If I get close to that, then I know I've done well. Okay, in terms of thinking during, the key to remember is what the fraction line tells us. So the fraction line, also known as the vinculum, is another way of writing division. And I'm going to use that to create a calculation from this fraction. So I can say that 19 over 34 is the same as 19 divided by 34, because that fraction line also means division. This is my dividend, here is my divisor. So the dividend, the first number, goes inside, and for my divisor, 34, that goes outside. I know my answer is going to be 0 point something, the answer is less than 1, so I'm going to need some decimals here to work with. So these are called trailing zeros. You can add as many as you like. I'll leave a bunch, I'm not sure I'll use all those, but let's just see. Okay, so I'm going to work with multiples of 34. How many 34s in these numbers? So I'm actually going to get that ready first. That's what I like to do, so that then I can focus just on the long division. So I think about what's 10 34s, and that's 340. That's a nice easy one I can do in my head. If I have 10 34s, then I'll get 5 34s. So I've got 2 there to get to use when I want them. I do a bit of doubling as well. You can decide you want to do this as well. I think of what 2 34s are, which is doubling it, and that's 68. Then I double it again to get 4 34s, and I get 136. Take your time with those if you need to. I double it again, 272, and I will get 8 34s. I'll tidy that up so you can see that I don't put the 34 in each time. You can if you like. So now I've got a whole lot of 34 multiplications, and I'm looking at the totals. I'm looking to see if I can use those in my long division. So now that I've set up, let's do the long division. How many 34s can I share from whatever it might be? How many 34s can I make from 19? None. I'll put a 0 up there because I'm working with decimals. You don't always need to. How many 34s can I make from 190? Now I look down here and I see that 5 34s is 170. I wouldn't get an extra 34 to get 190, so I can use 5 34s. 5 34s are 170. I put that, what I've shared, down the bottom. How many left to share? I take them away. I've got 20 left to share. Now I repeat the same pattern again. How many 34s in 20? Can't do it. Look to the next place value. How many 34s in 200? I look down here again, and it's actually still 5. 170. If I had another 34, that would take me over 200. So I need to use 5 again. 5 34s I know is 170. I set it up for myself already. How many left to share? I have 30 left to share. I repeat the pattern again. That's what an algorithm's all about. How many 34s in 30? Can't do it. Bring down an extra place value. How many 34s make 300 or close to 300? 10's too big. That's 340. Thinking 9 34s. So I'll take a 34 off 340. So I've only got 9 of those 34s. That would be 306. Oh, that is too big. Okay, that's no good. Go to my 8s. 8 34s are 272. That's my best choice there. 8 goes up here. 8 34s are 272. I've done the hard work already with the multiplying. How many left to share? I'll just slide that up a little bit for you. And I have 28 left to share when I subtract that. I'm going to stop there. I'm not going to use this final zero. I feel like I've got enough information to have converted 1930 out of 34 to a decimal now. So I'm going to round to 2 decimal places. Just move that up for you. So my final answer will be 19 out of 34 is also written, or is equal to 0.5, and then I look to the column next door to the right. 58 is closest to 60, or 8 tells me that I round up this column to 6, and that's my final answer. Now my thinking after, is it reasonable? So did I expect to get it? And you can't see the top of my sheet, but at the top of my sheet I said less than 1. And I would say, yep, that's good. I said around about a half, or 0.5, and yes I did. I got 0.56. So that means I can be quite confident that what I've done is correct.